at least once a year, I've got somebody that comes up to me and some big problem. I lost all my data. There's a virus, yada, yada, yada. And they are always astonished to find that my solution to like all of these problems is where's your good backup and let's just restore from that, because that's my plan. I have no plan other than that, to just like wipe the computer, whatever, and just restore from backup, because I have a decent backup strategy. That's what we're going to talk about today, how I keep kind of everything backed up, from the video stuff on my iPad to the stuff on my Mac, and all my code projects, kind of all my videos, photos, all those things. So let's do it. Before we get there, 2 ways to support the channel. Number 1 is to go to patreon.com/Curtis McHale, support the channel. Number 2 is to go to curtismchale.ca/Skillshare, where you can take my course on TickTick. Time blocking is like almost done. Recording this December 2nd. You'll see it in a couple weeks, but it's almost done. Hopefully it'll be out by the time you get this video, and you can just take that course. First off, let's talk about my devices. I work mainly from an iPad, and then from a Mac for my coding stuff, just because there's things that are easier to do coding-wise on a Mac. Specifically, browser inspectors, be able to test across browsers. You can do that on Mac. You can't really do that well on iPad. It's possible, but not excellent. So let's look at this in terms of projects. And we'll start with video projects, what I'm doing right here. So when I get this project, it's gonna get imported into my iPad into iCloud Drive. Now that means that iCloud Drive is gonna sync it up to the web and then back down to my computer. And here's where my next thing comes in, because it's actually gonna take that Backblaze will take all the files on my computer in iCloud Drive and everything and sync them up to the cloud so that they're not even on site. And that's kind of my backup strategy for almost everything, really, is to get it off-site so that I don't have to have a copy of it while having a couple copies, right? In the instance of iCloud, I guess I have a copy on my iPad, I have a copy on my Mac, and then I have a copy on iCloud that I could retrieve if there are issues. Now for long-term storage of video projects, I actually keep a lot of my B-roll, the extra stuff that I shoot, and in that case, I will take it and archive it off to a currently 10 terabyte Seagate hard drive. Used to be a 4 terabyte, but I generated enough data that when I was down to 300 gigs, I just bought a bigger drive because I need it. Now that whole drive, everything on it is backed up via Backblaze offsite so that I have it all the time. Ultimately, I figure that if Backblaze goes down and loses everything and all the hard drives are gone, there is some bigger problem in the world, and I don't actually care about the family photos. I just care that I got my family around me to hug. Now for code projects, I actually do most of my development up on a DigitalOcean server. That's where my code lives in version control called Git. And from there, I push it off either mostly to GitHub now, but to GitHub or to Bitbucket. Again, this is where I figure that if it is off in GitHub, it is off in Bitbucket, and all of their servers go down, there are bigger problems in the world than your website, and who cares? And most of that code is really even changes to a client site, right? I've been working on one client for 2 years almost. And so if I build one new plugin for them, the worst we're set back if I lost all of my versions of the code on my server and on GitHub for some reason, then hopefully they still have theirs, and all we lost was that one plugin, that one change. And so we can rebuild that. If we lost all of that, we probably don't care about what happened to the data, because there's other things in the world that are more important to worry about. Now, overall, my weakest link is probably my Mac Mini, because it is a 500 gigabyte hard drive, which was totally fine for years. I've had multiple computers that have been 500 gigs. And even when I bought this last year, I looked at my storage and said, oh, totally fine, not a problem. And then I really stepped up my video quality game into 4K, into other stuff like that. And I am regularly bumping up against the limits of 500 gigabytes on that hard drive. So I am consistently juggling that data off to my external, because my iPad's 1 terabyte. It's got double the space, and it just keeps being an issue. My next computer, my next Mac Mini, my next whatever, probably M1 something, will likely be a 1 terabyte version, so that I have, or maybe even bigger, so that I can handle a lot of those files that get pushed off via iCloud without having to juggle it all the time, because it's just a pain in the butt. And that's it. Like I said, my backup strategy really hinges on having it in a couple spots here, right? My iPad, my Mac, or a separate server on DigitalOcean, and then in GitHub. And figuring that if we lose all of those, there is a bigger problem in the world, and I don't care about the data. Thanks for watching. if you like the video, you can give it a thumbs up below, and then you hit subscribe and the bell, and YouTube might let you know that something happened, but you got to check, unfortunately, because it's an algorithm and who knows. Other than that, you can support the channel by going to patreon.com/CurtisMcHale to support the channel, or you can go to curtismchale.ca/Skillshare to take one of my courses on Skillshare. Time blocking will be coming up. Have an excellent day.